Hello and welcome to this edition of Tips and Tricks. Now today I'm going to be talking about the heads up on jig heads. And this came to me because when I'm fishing, a lot of times I tell people they're on a good jig bite, and a lot of times you see me on shore and people go, oh, I have a bunch of jigs, would you mind help me, or what colors, and can you look at them? And they go into their box and they start telling me like, oh, I use this one for flipping, I use this one for finesse fishing, and I use this one over the rock, and they all have the same head. And usually it's that sort of banana style head, or that straighter, almost like a swim jig sort of head. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well this color's good and this color's good. But the reality is there's a lot of heads for jigs. And there's a lot of shapes and a lot of designs, and there's a reason for that. Because over the years, they've been developed for being the best at a certain situation. Like this is our flipping jig. It's the one you see me using a lot lately. And it has a big toe head, and the way it stands up and the way it kind of comes over stuff, that's why I've designed it for flipping. And we don't have these out yet, but we will soon. But I also like them coming over rocks and trees and big rock outcroppings that are really jaggedy and big. Because most people, when they're like, oh, they're fishing rock, they go football head, which the football head is designed for that. But usually it's chunk rock or pea gravel or scattered rock with sand and dirt around it, or scattered little one log or something here and there, because you usually just crawl it, and the football head gives it that kind of crawl. But I found with this, when you get into that really big outcroppings and chunky, really gritty, lots of grooves and lots of holes, this flipping jig comes over it a lot better than a football, and it'll get snagged a lot less than a football head. So there's two of them. And I might as well just do it now, because I said most people have that sort of banana or bullet, just kind of straight, almost like a swim jig head. Those are actually best for coming through grass, or if there's a brush pile down there, swimming it through the brush pile and over little smaller sticks and branches, because you can kind of, with that straight head, you can kind of swim it through it. And then you get to your finesse style jigs, and we have one that's a bullet head, plus we have one that's a ball head. And these usually have a straight 90-degree shank. And that's the other thing on the other jigs. A lot of them have a turned eye, some of them have it at 90 degrees, some of them have it at straight ahead, some of them have it at 30 degree. All those do play a factor in it, but I think it's more important to have the head working for you and not worry at first so much about how the eyes are set up, except for the finesse. But most finesse ones you get, and like I said, it's usually a ball or the round headed ones. They're almost always 90, sometimes 30, but it's just better, and it's just better with the finesse and the way with the light line and the way you're working it. But yeah, don't have tons of jigs for tons of situations and have them all have the same head. There's lots, like I said, head shapes out there, and you'll have better success with jigs if you learn which head works best for which situation. And I'll probably do a little bit longer series on this eventually, and just go over each head individually for a little segment, rather than just giving you a sort of an overview right now. But we give it a try. For any situation, you can look up what kind of heads to use for different situations. But make sure you have them set up. And like I said, you'll probably start having a lot better success on jigs. And it's starting to be the season, winter. It's a big jig time. So hope this helped. Until next time.